Hey everybody, I recently bought the dogs a new little swimming pool and I'm going to make a ramp, and I thought this would be a really great opportunity to show you guys how I make the little ramps to go into their pool. This isn't too terribly complicated, but there will be a little bit of effort involved. So I have some leftover PVC. So I connected all my PVC pipe. I measured it to make sure that it's gonna fit like a nice width to the pool. So you want to connect all your PVC, that'll be your main frame. And then you're gonna drill some holes in it so that it'll fill up with water. And then that way the PVC is not gonna like float in the pool. Once you've got that all set, then you're gonna need some plastic lattice, which I have right here. I'm actually gonna use one that I used on our potty tunnels from the winter, so I have to remember to replace this. So we're gonna use this, and I just have to cut it down to fit this frame. And I had cut these a little bit last fall for the potty towels. They're not too bad. I just used a handsaw. Okay, we have our piece cut. Right now, the way the frame is set up, this is the underside of the ramp. So I'm gonna flip this over, and then I'm gonna lay the lattice on top, exactly where I want it, and then we're gonna start zip tying the lattice to the frame. All right, so that's how that looks. Here's my zip ties. I got these from the Dollar Tree. They're a little bit overkill. They're a little bit probably too long, but that's okay. I can just trim the edges. Okay, the zip tying is complete. So you can see all the little spots I added them. So now the lattice has been attached to our PVC frame. Also, I'd like to point out real quick, I'm only working with the PVC that I had at home. Obviously, if you have a big dog, you're definitely going to want to add more PVC to the frame right in the middle there. For these little guys, it's not going to make a difference, but definitely if you have a bigger dog, add more PVC there. Okay, now we're going to add our artificial turf to the top. I got this roll from Home Depot. It was already pre-packaged. I think it's 6 feet by 8 feet, and it costs around $25. So I'm gonna unroll this real quick. All right, I rolled out the turf a little bit. I have it facing down because I'm actually gonna flip the frame again, and I'm gonna have the top side facing down because I'm gonna try to get a little extra turf so that I kind of fold it up and under the bottom side of this, if that makes any sense. You guys will see soon. So here it is. So I'm gonna leave a little bit of extra on the bottom and on the top so that I can fold this over, and I'm gonna staple gun it even on the underside so that none of these like sharper edges are touching the pool liner. Here it is, cut down. I did cut around where the PVC little knobby pieces, connecty pieces are. So that way when I flip this over, everything will lay nice and flat. And then this is the top side that won't ever get wet. And these little connectors are kind of curved, so they're gonna kind of hug the frame of the pool. So I didn't want these getting covered in turf, so that's why I kind of cut around them too. And now we will start stapling. So I'm gonna staple these flaps first, and then I'm gonna flip it over, and then I'll staple the top part on better. All right, quick detour. The staple gun died. So now we're in Tractor Supply, getting a new staple gun. Ooh, hello. Good girls. Yes. All right, we just finished. Stapling the new staplers. Awesome. So let's go get this in the pool. All right, there it is. Back up a little bit. So it takes up about half of the pool, but this pool is actually slightly longer than the pink pool, and as the water rises, they're actually going to have more room to swim like off of the ramp. So this will be very interesting. Kind of hoping that the blue color of the pool will help them transition to the big pool, since that's also blue, and the dock diving pool is also blue. The main reason I got this new pool, I was actually going to wait until next summer, but our little pink one is growing algae so fast. It's getting really worn out. I try to scrub the algae out. I get a lot out, but there's still some I just cannot seem to get out, and I think that's why it's just regrowing really fast. We've had it for a couple of years, so I just figure, you know what, let's just get a new pool. And this one, you can see the brand. It's really nice now that it's up, but it's kind of a pain in the butt to put together. Definitely not something I'd want to take apart and put together a lot. Now Willow's in. Get it, Willow. So I gotta start putting some water in here. This is just from some rain that we had today. Woohoo! Look at these girls. We are ready for the toys. There's 1 and 2. And then there's a, oops, got stuck. There's a jelly. Story. You better get in there. There you go. Good job, girls. All right, that's it for today's video. If you guys have any suggestions on how I can make the ramp better, please do so. Otherwise, it's pretty decent. It gets the job done. They've got plenty of traction to get in and out. And it's pretty simple to make too. It's not too terrible of a project. So that's it, and we're gonna keep playing in this water. We'll see you in the next video. Bye!